This is AC Starlord, aka Awesome. Welcome back to my um channel and all that good stuff. And this is a movie review for a certain movie I'm about to pick up here pretty soon here. DV that is Tim Burton's Tim Burton's A Corpse Bride. And this is like it says, it's a piece of genius. It really is. This movie is very unique and very different. I'm surprised I haven't seen this. I haven't watched this in a while. I'm surprised I haven't watched this at all. I might have seen bits and pieces of it on TV, and I didn't know where it was. But this movie was really good. Johnny Depp was really good in this. This other girl right here, up here, is really good. Essentially, it's just like essentially just like how Nightmare Before Christmas is. It's also a musical at the same time. But just like how Nightmare Before Christmas is like I'm talking about, this is Halloween. This is Halloween, Halloween Town. And then you have Jack exploring Christmas. Well, this has a young guy named Victor, and he has to be forced to get married or have an arranged marriage with somebody he doesn't know. But he ends up falling in love with this girl, and he meets a girl. And then he goes in the. He's nervous because it's the first time doing vows and all that stuff. And then he goes in the woods and he says his vows perfectly fine. And he accidentally marries a corpse bride named Emily, I think. But and then he ends up marrying her on accident, and he goes into the world of the dead, and he's still living, and then he's still in love with the girl that's in the world of the living. And it's a very interesting movie because it has that contrast of, this is a Halloween-esque movie. Everything's blue. I mean, everything is dark and blue and grays, where, as you can tell, like her skin is really blue, his skin is gray, but the outside atmosphere is like a grayish blue. But the world of the living is very much colorful with a bunch of greens and some blues and a bunch of greens and some blues and uh, um yellow light like sunlight, and it's very colorful because you can see the skeleton, you can see, skeleton people and their remains, and people that are not skeletons, they turn blue just like her. But the story behind the corpse bride is very interesting because she thought she loved a man, and she thought she loved this man, and the man betrayed her, the man killed her for money, insurance money. You find out later on in the movie it's just for insurance money. That's how he stays rich. Because yes, Victor made the poor choice. Victor made a poor choice to say his vows and put the ring accidentally on a corpse finger, which was very black, and he didn't know that that was an actual living undead corpse in the background. I mean, right in front of him in the background, of course. But this is also, like, again, a love story. But I'll get back into that. They explained the corpse story, and she said she'll vow to find the true love. Well, she loved Victor as well, but also Victor's in love with another girl, but the other girl's also in love. Living is also in love with Victor, but she was also forced to marry this other guy when they couldn't find him. And he couldn't get back to the living unless he said the word butterscotch. And he explains that to the girl he loves. But then the bride, you know how the bride got jealous, as most women would, be like, "You have another woman," but and then he says, Johnny Depp's character Victor says, "You are the other woman. I accidentally did this. But it's like you can't be, it's kind of interesting because you can't be married to someone that's in the dead, from the dead, but also from the living. So it's kind of an interesting Halloween twist to it where it's like you married someone that's dead, and that's where the twist comes in. But also, it feels like it's a lot like a love story for me, like how Nightmare for me it is. But for you know, Nightmare Before Christmas is, hey, you have nightmare, word nightmare, scary thing to say, right? And you have Christmas, which is our most joyful holiday. And then you have someone like Jack Skellington trying to figure out this holiday, show it to his people, but his people are all scary beings because they're from a town called Halloween Town, right? This is two people that were rightly wronged for the people they loved. Or the corpse bride thought she loved, but he wasn't wronged. It's just he wasn't prepared. And the guy that was in the insurance money, wanted the insurance money, was there the whole time corrupting their Johnny Depp's character's love affair. Because Victor's family had money, I'm assuming by the way they are. And then the girl that he loved, they had a big house and everything, but they were looking for someone that would give them income or source of income being marriage because they're going to the poorhouse. Once he found that out, once the guy who was doing the insurance scam of being married to someone he said, I'll take your daughter's, I'll take, since Victor can't do it, I'll take your daughter's hand in marriage. And he was just looking for money because basically he said, oh, death will soon, death do his part soon be coming. And towards the end of the movie, the corpse bride recognized that guy and he said, it was you that stood me off an altar and ultimately killed me. And then he drinks some wine because the plan was for Victor to drink some wine to make a promise to the corpse bride to be her forever love and sacrifice himself because he knew he was a little bit too late because he knew his love was getting married, betrothed by someone else. So he made that deal with the corpse bride to be her true love and die and let his heart stop and have poison and become becoming an unliving person, unliving dead person just for her. It was opposite the guy who did the insurance scams of, you know, being married and killing off his bride to get their money, right? End up taking the wine because he tried to move a point where he's going to be better than everyone else. Ends up drinking the wine, and the people from on the ground took care of him basically. But also, it's funny how Victor's um, butler slash guy who's driving the carriage ends up dying, and when they're looking for him because he's coughing with tobacco, and he immediately recognizes him when he goes into underground. So I thought that was pretty funny. This movie had some good music in it, good musicals, and some of it talked about had which I don't really like, is a Black Widow and a worm that was living in the corpse bride's brain or head, sing a song about Victor doesn't know who you are. Show him who you are. Show the person that we love and know, and show him that. So it is kind of an interesting contrast where she she is basically the corpse bride will find anyone that wanted to put the ring on her finger, become their, become her husband, that basically her husband thinking that's instantly their husband, which not really, but you get my point. She has that because she was wrongly wronged from that, and she vowed to herself that she will find the true love. And that was a good aspect to it because she literally did say, like, I love you, Victor, but I'm going to rob you. At the end, I love you, but I'm going to rob you from someone else's love for you. And she instantly saw the girl he loves at the wedding, at the church, and she made that self-sacrifice, but she said, like, you made me free. So she was free to become butterflies in the moon because she knew what she had to do. She loved herself more than she loved Victor. She found true inner love. And for Victor, he ended up finding his love back again with his girl, the girl that was supposed to be his arranged marriage, but they instantly spent one day with each other and fell in love. Now, and that seems kind of weird concept. Yes, you don't spend just one day with some girl and you instantly fall in love. And it happens sometimes. And sometimes some people that are very close to you will say, I don't mean that to happen, but it just happened. Also, just like, hey, I might like this guy, but also I have a friend that I also may like. Don't know. I don't know yet, but I'm doing this right now. That's also okay too. Like, there's different ways people find their true person they're supposed to be with. In this story, though, it's the corpse bride just wants someone, but she finds out at the end that all she needed was herself, and then Victor finds his true love again throughout the stuff, but he was heartbroken because he couldn't have her because of the parents arranged the marriage, but the arrangement of that marriage was also falsified by both of their parents, but they ended up spending time together and for one day and they instantly fall in love with each other because they instantly had that same feeling. Now, the aspect of this whole, the regular aspect of this movie, like he had a dog that also looked like the same dog. Like it's actually not a ghost, but it was actually a skeleton dog that looked exactly like the same dog that was in Nightmare Before Christmas, the same design. But also for humans, and since this is a movie that would have had humans and um skeletons and zombies and stuff like that, and this I think Tim Burton does very good with like how he did skeletons and zombies and stuff like that from this movie and um um Jack the Skeleton and the rest of the people in Halloween Town. Essentially, Sally is just like the Corpse Bride, same blue color and everything like that. So, but the humans in this movie, except what Victor looks like, a skinny guy, you know. Every human here has a different look. The mom had like a big giant head and had a football up chin. Her his true that was his true love's mother had a football looking like chin, long neck, long body. Her hair was kind of poofy, big and pointy and poofy, kind of like um Marge from The Simpsons. The dad was kind of like a two olives put together, if I had to say so. And you had the maid kind of legs bented down, like it's just weird portions of of the humans in here. Some are skinny, some are big, some are round, some are fat. Some of them, one of the town choir guy that says the news looks like the mayor from his body looked like the mayor's head from Halloween from Nightmare Before Christmas. It was an interesting look for the human beings nonetheless. But the skeletons and everything else were great because that's what he's good for. Tim Burton also is really good at dark aesthetic of it, like Batman, the early Batman movies, Nightmare Before Christmas, like I said, Corpse Bride, obviously, Wednesday, which I still need to catch up on, but Wednesday too, um, and anything else he has made. But Tim Burton's also good at telling stories. Oh yeah, Frankenweenie, what I did last year. Um, and even Frankenweenie with the humans in there, those are poor. The way he made those claymation or animation meant well, that was also kind of weird. Um, the dog also here looked like Frankenweenie also in a way. So the similarities to his movies is kind of like A lot like Stephen King, where you find certain things in his other stories and then you tie it into another book or tie it into another story. Same thing with Tim Burton here. But Tim Burton's also good at telling a story. He's also good at telling any kind of story and then also having a dark twist behind it. And that's what makes it kind of a Halloween-ish esque movie. Now, this is like a love story, nonetheless. It's a love story, but also you can also watch this on Halloween. So it's kind of like the same thing where Nightmare Before Christmas. Do I play this? Do I play Nightmare Before Christmas on Christmas or do I play it on Halloween? And that's always the debate. You can play Nightmare Before Christmas on Halloween and on Christmas. And then you can probably play this on Valentine's Day and on Halloween because this has a love story in it. Two different love stories. You have Victor in love with this other girl, and you have the bride, corpse bride, in love with Victor, but also knowing that she can't have him because he's from the world of the living. Also, she got robbed from, thought the guy that she was going to be betrothed with and married, um, whined him. She wanted him, but all he wanted was just money. Just just what's it called? Scamming people for the insurance when he kills his wife. And that's also a bad thing. Yes, it's a bad thing. But in this movie, you had to have a villain, right? And they're essentially not, I mean, you would think that the skeletons and zombies and all that stuff from the underground were be the villain, right? But no. Seems like the creepier the characters are, the more friendlier in Tim Burton's universe. The villains are usually the people that you can spot out, and this guy that was Ralphie was ends up being the villain. So this is a good family friendly movie. It is, like I said, and it says on the Blu-ray here, a piece of genius, pure genius. The way he built the story together and the way he built it around, it was really good. I enjoyed it. Good love story, good, not so, I mean, it's scary, but not like it's more family oriented, friendly, scary. But you get my point. It is so unique in itself for being a in the genre of like, oh, well, I don't know what you would call this, a animated film, but also a in the touches of like an intro to children's horror, I would say. And that's all I gotta say about it. This movie was really good. I enjoyed it. I'm surprised I've never seen it all the way through. I might have seen it a couple times on television, some bits and pieces of it. But in my generation, where I'm from, it's always been the main Tim Burton movie that people talk about is Batman, and then you have Nightmare Before Christmas, and that's what only people talk about is Batman and Nightmare Before Christmas. So that's about it. The Chorus Bride was pretty good. I highly recommend checking it out this year for your Halloween movie marathon. I know I'm doing a little bit early, but this is the Halloween movie marathon, and this is the second movie of it. So if you like this video, put a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and deuces.